Well, neighbors in the village of Harrison are reeling after a fire late Friday night destroyed a home that served as 3 apartments. Everyone made it out okay, but some pets were lost. New at 4, Samantha Cavalli sharing their story of loss and hope for what's to come.
The late night apartment fire forced several residents out of their homes, escaping for their lives. Today, they're sharing their story of how they were able to escape and how the community has stepped in to help. The last nearly 72 hours have been a blur for Sue Hill and Perry Foth, along with their neighbor and Sue's 2 sons, after losing their home and nearly everything inside a house fire. Foth says he'd only been home for about half an hour when he smelled something burning. Then a neighbor came pounding at the door.
I hear my neighbors coming to my doors, knocking really hard and yelling fire, and I basically started running and gathered my cat and what I could, like my keys and my wallet.
In the hours after, Cimarron Bar and Grill became a drop-off site, collecting donations to help families replace the basics. For Hill, the warning came at work when a neighbor called to say her apartment was on fire. While belongings can be replaced, her 4-year-old German Shepherd, Angel, can't be.
I never went through this, and I don't wish it on anybody because you lost everything, everything.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation, but residents tell me they're thankful for the community's support as they continue this next step forward. Reporting in the village of Harrison, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.